Hi, welcome back to Latherbound. My name is Michael, and this is normally a channel where I spend time talking about my mental health journey and things related to TRT. Today I want to take a little break here to talk about a new razor that just came in. I just received an early bird of the Nord Freyja, and I know that there's a lot of people really curious about it, so wanted to hop on here and do a very first impression, really. So I just received it last night, and so this is going to be my true first impressions as we go on this. So let's go ahead and kind of get started on the shave. I'm going to load it up here with a Gillette Silver Blue, and I have the standard plate that I'm using today. I really want to just kind of show off some of the things on here. Like, here is the base plate, and you can see one of the things that's really kind of unique on this one is all of those grooves, those teeth that are along it, which are supposed to provide a lot of rigidity for the blade. And so I am definitely curious to see how it's going to perform. Early reviews that I saw from testers were very, very promising. They've compared it a lot to some other really wonderful razors out there, such as the Lambda Athena, which is one of my absolute favorites. Just for perspective, yeah, my other favorites include the Lambda Athena. Like I said, I just got titanium of that, which super excited to use, and the Carbon CX is one of my other favorites. So we're looking forward to trying this one to see just how well it ranks. For the rest of the shave today, went with some other things that I'm very, very familiar with to be able to try to give a very good feel just on the razor itself, using Kitawa from First Line Shades and the new Wagyu tailed base, which provides a ton of amazing slickness and is one of my absolute favorite scents, especially for this time of year. And so try to get lathered up here quick so we can kind of get to the first impressions on what we see on there for the razor that I know you guys are all here for. So, kind of a lot there. That's okay. Sorry. And for the brush, should say mention I'm using a Walde one that was generously lent to me. So I had never actually tried a Walt before. And while I could easily talk about how amazing this brush is as well, I'm gonna forgo that so we can get to the razor. So the razor is made by Nord Razors, which is a company out of Sweden by David. I think it's how it says it, D-A-W-I-D. And this is his first razor. It was recently on Kickstarter. He raised all the funding that he needed for it quite successfully, and I was lucky to grab one of the early bird slots, so I was able to get it in my hands today. My collection came with the mild plate, standard plate, and the efficient plate, and decided I would jump right in trying to use the standard plate, see what it does. Some of the things I really look for in a razor that draw me to them are just the overall feel for the razor, the audible feedback that I get on the razor, the rigidity, and just how well it feels in my hand and everything. That kind of that extra factor. We're almost ready here on this lather. If you guys have used this Wagyu, Imperial Wagyu base from FLS, you know you can just kind of use it totally soak it. It takes so much water. So from the things that was mentioned really drew me to the Freya here, I learned about it on Badger and Blade as I was kind of looking around on there. and saw that the early tests for the Freya were just outstanding. Like I said, people comparing it to these other really amazing high-end razors like um, the Athena that I really love and other ones like that. And learning the way that it was a very iterative design process and community driven, I was really drawn to that. And just knowing that those were his goals. So I know it's, like I said, he designed it in Sweden, then he found a shop in Poland to do all the machining for it. And here's the final product. And you can see I did go with it with the spiral handle. He does also have it with an argyle handle. But here we go. First pass, and I've been told use even less pressure than you think you normally would for this. We'll see how it goes. That was a very, very nice first one. I don't know if you can hear that, but there is some audible feedback on there. Just a touch of blade feel, not much at all. I believe if you go with the mild, it's a neutral blade feel. So there's almost next to nothing. And then as you go to the standard like this one, you get just a little bit. I don't have the stats in front of me, unfortunately. I want to say it was something like 0.1, but please don't quote me on that. Oh, that's what I get for not paying its close attention there. But yeah, so far I'm very happy so far. Let's get to the end and really kind of see the results. I don't working on just a 1 day's growth here. Typically am a daily shaver. And luckily do not have overly sensitive skin by any means. And then head geometry, it's making it very easy to get there under the nose. Now, I'll just show that up there again. Has that kind of style of head geometry, which makes it very easy. And I gotta say that rigidity on that blade is definitely no joke. We'll see a bit more when we get to against the grain, but I can easily say, like, no, so far, little to no blade chatter whatsoever. Don't know if I could even say that there was any, really. Sorry if you guys hear my dog over there. This is our mornings, and she likes me to take her down downstairs in the middle of our shave. But she can wait here as I'm flinging some lather out. Okay, let's keep on going here. And we'll go across the grain. Yeah, that blade is just locked in there. Did use it my carp overlander yesterday, which was definitely, as you know, a little bit on the milder side, so I had a little bit more growth here. Still have a fair amount to take care of there. We're getting there. So it's definitely not overly efficient, I wouldn't say, at least at the standard plate. probably comparable feel to what I would get from like my Athena. In terms of the efficiency there. Aggressive, it's not a period aggressive at all, I don't feel like. Feels just very, very smooth, very, very natural there. Very easy blade angle to find. I could pretty easily see this becoming an automatic razor here after a couple more uses just to, dial it in, get used to it. But no, so far, very, very impressed. That didn't come up on against the grain here, which you guys know is definitely where we learned about it. I did just notice as I set it down, there is a tiny, tiny bit of blade on the sides here. So if you guys are head shavers, just to note that. You can't even really see it, I don't think, but there's just the tiniest bit that as you feel it, you can feel it on there, which I'm sure will make it easier to take the blade off. It's not something that I really need to worry about. So you guys off to that will let me know. I know I got lucky, got one of the early birds on this, and there's not very many of these out in the wild yet. I think they're going into full production right now. Other Kickstarter backers are supposed to get it, I think, around February, and then opening to general orders. So you'll have to let me know, is there something particular you want to know about it? What can I tell you? Happy to hop on a chat, and hit me up on Instagram, Latherbound on there as well. Happy to chat about the razor there or anything else shaving related. There we go. Get a good layer on there. There. I'll just say this kit at one, if you haven't checked out it, this is such a great scent too. I mean, the blood orange, saffron, and the spices in there. Really, really good fall and winter scent. So, here we go. Against the grain, see what we get. See, the very first pass felt really nice. A lot of confidence that the blade is staying right where I want it to be. Okay, let's go and see what that feels like. Yeah, that is very nice. I can feel just a tiny bit right there if I go above it. And it is gone. Yeah, we'll see when I get to a couple of my more trouble spots what it's like. I did grab my emblem stick here too, so we can give that a try just to see what kind of feedback get. Let's get some eyes. Right back here is one of my trouble spots for some reason, so we'll see how we handle that. And I know there's definitely a tendency that when you buy something, especially like this where I'm buying it myself, it's not something that was sent to me for review or anything like that, that tendency that you want to think that you made a good decision. And so you tend to rate it really well. I'm trying to just keep that in mind here and really Yep, just a little bit there, but not much. That feels really good. Um, Trying to, just like I said, keep that in mind myself and give my honest first impressions. Feel a little bit more blade feel as I'm going, considering that on my chin. Which seemed more matter of finding the angle for me, I think, there. Well, I think I just caught myself just a tiny bit there, but that was my fault, pretty sure. Um, uh, Getting that against the grain. Uh, so you can see if you're not careful, she can bite you a little bit. It's a pretty good little weeper. Okay, let me give it a good feel. Yeah, I'm really happy with that shave. So, give me a second. I'm going to rinse off, and then I am going to do an Ellen Oliver and just to see for feedback. So, 1 second. Thanks for that, guys. Back to do this. Like I said, I got my Ellen. Just gonna see if we get any feedback. So far, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yep, right there where I caught myself. But yeah, that is it. That was an absolutely amazing shave. Rinse this off, and then we'll get some aftershave on us. Go. We'll see how feeling after this. So do you have the matching splash to go with it? Get out. Honestly, yeah, that is amazing. Um, no tingles anywhere over here, just a little bit where I got myself, and just great shape all over overall. I can see where there's, like I said, I got myself there on the lip just a little bit, but that was my fault. I was kind of let it go. Got over confident maybe, but I think there's a lot of potential here with the Freya. So I think there's going to be, it's another European one. So I know there's definitely shipping issues with that. But if you have a chance to try one out, I definitely think I would recommend it. I'm looking forward to getting some more shaves in here, kind of getting a bit more thoughts on it, and just kind of seeing where it ends up in my den. Like I said, I have 10, 12 razors right now, and the Carbon and the Athena are the top ones for me. Except for this very first shave, this one might sneak into the top 5 at least, if not into the top 3, I think. But like I said, I got the 2 other plates, the mild and the efficient to try out, and am just kind of more on my plate to experiment with. So I'll definitely try this the rest of the week here. When I come back from my episode on Saturday, I'll try it again. Maybe have a few more thoughts by that point and be able to share a little bit more. So if you have any specific questions, you want me to do anything, try anything, answer anything, let me know. Otherwise, I think that's going to wrap us up at the moment. These were my, like I said, just very, very first impressions, not a formal review or anything like that, but just wanted to get out there, let everyone know what I was thinking on it. So that's going to do it for today. As always, hope you guys can find some joy out there and enjoy those shaves.